No, it's so hard to do what you really, really desperately want in life. It's so much easier just to do you don't care either way about.
Wow.
Y'all, it finally happened. Cate Blanchett didn't just clap back, she detonated a full-blown bombshell right on Blake Lively's pristine, Pinterest-perfect image, and the internet is still in recovery mode. Without raising her voice, without shedding a single tear, Cate exposed the betrayal so surgical, so cold-blooded. It didn't need drama, just facts. Because guess what? The reign of Blake Lively's behind-the-scenes sabotage, her pretty girl gaslighting, her quiet dethroning of women with actual legacy, it just crashed and burned harder than her Snow White box office numbers. This time, it's not social media rumors or brand deal catfights. No, this was personal. This was career theft. And Cate Blanchett, the queen of quiet power, just exposed it all. Turns out Blake didn't just hijack a photo shoot, she shoved Cate out of her own Chanel campaign, a legacy 10 years in the making, and for what? To feed Blake's lemon-scented ego and curated Instagram soft feminism. Let's back it up.
Being attractive doesn't preclude being intelligent.
Cate Blanchett wasn't just a brand ambassador, she was Chanel. A decade of grace, no filter, no fake deep captions, no kitchen photo apps, just pure elegance and real loyalty. In fact, back in 2020, Cate's husband, acclaimed writer Andrew Upton, crafted a poetic, silent, black and white short film for Chanel. 2 women, 1 story, no words, just raw emotion. It was artistic, it was moving, and it was greenlit. Until Blake. Just 2 weeks before production, Chanel sent Cate a dry, soulless email. Creative alignment no longer in place. Translation? You've been replaced. No phone call, no explanation, just a brutal cut. Then, bam! Blake Lively gets announced as the new face of that exact campaign.
What is your moral compass? Where does kindness and humanity sit in a brutal world? Because those are important questions to ask right now.
In my vagina.
And not just as a co-star, not even a respectful handoff. Nope, she bulldozed the whole project. Andrew's script, trashed. The emotional short film, scrapped. In its place, a cringy crossover between Chanel, Netflix, and Blake's bizarre wellness brand. Out went subtle storytelling, in came motivational quotes and soft-focused vision boards. Hollywood didn't even blink. Because when a loud, young social media queen shows up to erase the work of a seasoned icon, the industry calls it reinvention. But let's be clear, this wasn't reinvention, this was erasure. And the tea gets hotter. A stylist from the set, anonymously, revealed that Blake wasn't even Chanel's first choice. Her team barged in late, offering a multi-brand, influencer-friendly deal that Chanel simply couldn't resist. So much for artistic direction. And then came the most chilling moment of all, a private Chanel dinner at a lavish French chateau. Cate had RSVP'd months earlier, back when she was still the face of the campaign. Everyone assumed she'd cancel. She didn't. Cate showed up, composed, regal, grace under fire, and guess who was planted center stage, beaming like she'd cured gender inequality? Blake. And then came the comment. During dinner, Blake allegedly leaned in and said, "That script was beautiful, but a little outdated, right?" Someone near her chuckled and replied, "You mean Andrew's script? Oh, I didn't even know it was her husband's." But legacy doesn't really sell to Gen Z anyway.
Andrew and Upton and I ran the Sydney Theatre Company he ran it for 10 years almost, and this is the culmination. This is the last play he programmed.
And Cate, she was 2 tables away. Hearing her husband's work be reduced to irrelevant, watching a story she built be rebranded as a youth-fueled marketing project. And what did she do? Nothing. She didn't cry, didn't scream. She just held her head high, because some insults are so beneath you, silence is the only response. But Blake wasn't done hijacking the spotlight. She launched the new Chanel campaign like she had invented elegance. There was no nod to Cate, no mention of the 10-year journey that came before, just Blake, loud, smiling, hollow. And then the universe clapped back. On April 16th, 2023, a major UK fashion magazine accidentally dropped a nuclear leak, a feature clearly pre-written for Cate's Chanel film, the one Blake had hijacked. It was raw, honest, unfiltered. The article named Andrew Upton as the writer. It described the original campaign's black and white minimalist vision. It praised Cate for shaping the story, not just modeling the gowns. And most damning, it nailed the timeline. Filming was set for March. Cate had been locked in since 2020. This wasn't a creative shift. This was a cold-blooded replacement. Within 3 hours, the article vanished, deleted, disappeared from the site, from Google, from every cached link. But baby, this is the internet. Reddit got to it first. Screenshots, receipts, comparisons. The post exploded. Side-by-side images of Cate's scrapped campaign and Blake's final version began circulating, and it was undeniable. Same lines, same vibes, same aesthetic, just a different face. One Reddit user nailed it. This isn't a rebrand, this is a replacement. TikTok followed fast. One viral clip showed Cate's original campaign shots versus Blake's reboot, captioned, "This is how you rewrite someone else's legacy." Over 2 million views in under 48 hours. It didn't stop there. Fashion YouTuber Redley Brez Reels dropped a whole breakdown video, the Chanel campaign Blake Lively doesn't want you to see. She read excerpts from the deleted article and literally paused to say, "They didn't even change the structure." Meanwhile, Chanel's PR team was in meltdown mode, scrubbing metadata, ghosting reporters, silencing editors. One journalist tweeted, "Tried getting a quote from Chanel, got static. The silence is deafening." Because let's be real, once the article vanished, they practically admitted everything. And while Blake's team scrambled with over-filtered promo shots and chirpy Instagram captions, Cate was cooking something else. Not a podcast, not a press tour, a play. In June 2023, just 2 months after the leak, Cate and Andrew quietly dropped a new show at the Sydney Theatre Company. No red carpet, no PR circus. The title, Lines That Weren't Meant to Be Read. But after one preview, it changed the story. A woman loses control of her legacy. A younger woman steps in, takes the spotlight, and convinces the world it was hers all along. Sound familiar? Someone in the audience leaked a 60-second clip from Act 3. Cate's character looks her rival dead in the eye and says, "The worst part isn't that you took it. It's that you convinced them it was always yours. And now, when they applaud, I'm clapping too, because I don't even recognize what they're praising anymore." That line detonated online. TikTok, Tumblr, Instagram, it exploded. Edits spliced the quote over Blake's Chanel shots. Fans captioned it, "She's not acting, she's telling you what happened." Over 5 million views in a week. Cate didn't have to fight, her art did the talking, and it cut deep. By mid-July 2023, the polished fantasy Blake's team had been pushing crashed like a clumsy runway fall. And that's when another bombshell hit. A leaked email from inside Blake's own PR team, dropped into a Discord server that thrives off spilled marketing secrets. The date? July 10, 2023. And the damning sentence? "If Cate's going the art revenge route, we'll need to elevate the language around Blake's art. Shift messaging to creative reclamation." Creative reclamation? Social media exploded. Twitter dragged the phrase into orbit. PR Fail Central tweeted, "Creative reclamation is what you call it when you steal someone's story, get caught, then try to repackage the theft like it's performance art." Memes flew in fast. "Stole my sister's baby name and called it maternal reclamation. Used my friend's poem for an ad pitch and labeled it creative healing." It was chaos. Reddit threads flooded. TikTok creators mocked the phrase with parody branding exercises. The phrase creative reclamation was trending, not as a genius strategy, but as the biggest PR fail of the year. And it was only getting worse, because while the internet was having a full roast session over creative reclamation, Blake's team tried one last desperate save. They booked her for a major sit-down on Fashion Unfiltered, a Chanel-themed special. The plan? Paint Blake as the fresh new face of legacy, glossy, safe, and soft-spoken. But baby, they forgot one thing. You can't control a live mic. Behind-the-scenes footage leaked before the episode even aired. The host, mic'd up for rehearsal, tried out her intro. "We're so excited to talk with Blake Lively about her new Chanel project and what really happened to the version that was supposed to feature Cate Blanchett." Yes, she really said it. That wasn't in the script. The host added it herself. She wanted to ask the real question. Blake's team found out just hours before filming, and they pulled her. No backup, no statement, no explanation, just poof. The segment died. The internet didn't. The leaked clip hit X, Twitter, 2 days later with the caption, "They cut this before Blake ghosted the show." 2 million views in a weekend, and the comments, savage. If you're scared of being asked the question, you already know the answer. Still, her team wasn't done trying. Next up, the August 2023 cover of Viva Vogue. This was supposed to be Blake's redemption rollout. Peak Chanel promo, soft power interviews, glowing write-ups, a gorgeous editorial spread. The cover was done, interview recorded, press kit set, and then, boom, 48 hours before release, the issue was pulled. No announcement, no replacement, just radio silence. And then, a leak. Again, someone inside the mag whispered to Glossy Drama Baba that it had nothing to do with scheduling. They pulled it for reputation management. The backlash was too loud, too viral, too risky. "We couldn't justify putting her on the cover anymore," said one senior editor. Translation, Blake Lively had officially become a liability. Meanwhile, Cate Blanchett still hadn't said a single word. Not a press tour, not a tweet, not even a shady little like on Instagram. But someone found an old quote from her February 2023 Berlin Film Festival speech, and suddenly it sounded like the most elegant revenge monologue ever whispered into a pearl microphone. There's a difference between honoring the story and owning it like it was always yours. That line was not in the official transcript. Someone in the audience caught it on their phone, uploaded it to Reddit, and captioned it, "Cate Blanchett just fired the most elegant warning shot I've ever heard." TikTok, of course, took over from there. Edits paired the audio with shots of Blake's Chanel campaign next to Kate's older ones. You didn't even need context, the vibe said it all. The hashtag #KateTheLastAct started trending everywhere. Fans rallied, red carpet throwbacks, behind-the-scenes interviews, powerful old quotes, all resurfacing like holy scripture to remind the world, Cate Blanchett doesn't need filters or likes. She is legacy. And just when Blake's team thought it couldn't get worse, the final nail hit. A Chanel fan page with over 300K followers posted the brand's 2023 Legacy Collaborator Reel. It was meant to showcase all the icons tied to the Chanel cinematic journey. Kristen Stewart, in it. Penelope Cruz, still there. Tilda Swinton, yep. Florence Welch, of course. Cate Blanchett, featured. Blake Lively, not even a pixel. Not a nod, not a frame, not even a mention. The caption didn't sugarcoat it. They kept Florence, they kept Kristen, but Blake? Not even a whisper. And then, the most brutal tweet of the saga. It came from @ArchiveDetective, side-by-side screenshot. Left. A dramatic Blake line from her Chanel campaign. Some stories were never told until now. Right, the final line of Andrew Upton's original deleted script, as quoted in the UK fashion article. Some stories are best told in silence. Over 40,000 reposts in 3 days, and just like that, the verdict was clear. This wasn't branding, this wasn't empowerment, this wasn't storytelling. It was theft, spritzed with perfume, wrapped in couture, and shoved down the public's throat like a vision board with no soul. And now, Blake Lively isn't seen as the face of Chanel, she's the face of a PR collapse. She didn't reclaim a legacy, she tried to rewrite it, but Hollywood has a long memory and a vicious love for poetic justice. Because if there's one thing Tinseltown worships more than a glowing comeback, it's watching someone choke on a crown they tried to steal. So now the question is, does Blake Lively dare to make a comeback? And more importantly, will Hollywood forgive her or just forget her? Drop your thoughts in the comments because this story, oh baby, it's not even close to over. It's not even close to over.